to grab stuff to do.
Recording.
Okay, this is another episode of, I just what we had to frame is what happened, of Two Piece and a Pod, like Two Piece and a Pod. Stephanie and Jose both work here. They're wonderful people. I'm going to be talking to Stephanie. They are not like being on camera kind of people. I need to put some music in the background. Can you hand me that remote, Jose? We're going to lose our license for doing this. But we'll put on we can't put on Sleep Token, which is what you would pick, right?
Yeah.
So as I talk, Stephanie, we met when I worked with you at Genesis at the gym. I mean, I was a trainer at Genesis, and we worked out together at the gym. And then we've stayed friends. This was 2 years ago or so.
Yeah,
we probably
about 2
met.
years ago, yeah.
And then I opened a shop in August, and we were continuing to talk at that point. And then you probably came in here the first time. When would you guess the first time you came to the shop was?
Man.
Well, I'm looking up non-licensed music.
November?
Like late November?
So we're talking late November of last year, roughly. Stephanie came in the shop the first time. And at that point, had you ever bought a Pokemon card?
No, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go Pokemon. I actually came because I wanted to rip what were they, the NFL sports cards, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm really into the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought I was coming for, but man, changed my mind so fast. Now I'm all about the Pokemon cards.
And so it's fascinating to me. So, and again, if I was listening to your answer poorly, it's my fault. What changed your mind so fast? Was it the visuals of the Pokemon? What made you switch
the art
from
style.
your initial goal to what you'd have switched to?
I would say it would be the art style, but also there was so much to choose from in comparison, right? Because there's so many more Pokemon than I could even say, 'cause I don't know, I just thought the art styles were pretty cool, and I liked how each Pokemon had so many variants in cards.
Yeah.
So that's why I was oh man, this is really cool. Yeah.
And I mean, it's something where you and your brother and then your sister, came in here and we just casually, and Jose's standing back here too. So if he ever chimes in or asks a question, that might be a thing. But it was so organic how this all happened. You didn't come here looking for a job. You guys didn't come here, to do that kind of stuff. You came here, a combination of a friend, me working here.
Yeah, because we did come for you.
And then an interest in maybe some sports cards. And you guys just had such an aptitude for it right away, both of you. And to where I hoped early on, I talked to you, maybe you remember this very well.
I remember
last summer before I got injured,
Mm-hmm.
and I had got to the shop. I talked to you then about doing stuff together because I always believed in you. And so when you guys came in here, I didn't have a ulterior motive necessarily either, but I was happy just to be friends and just to open cards together and that kind of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I thought, boy, if they like this, or boy, if they're into it, I would be all for it. And then we hung out, and you guys got more and more and more knowledgeable about Pokemon. And one of the fun stories though I want to tell about you is when we got a chance, a guy named Michael, if he watches this, was kind enough to buy us a case of that Donruss football.
Yeah.
And we were trying to hit our first downtown out here, and we were very, very few boxes into that case.
It
was
my
it your
first box.
one?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was my first box.
So I, the owner of this shop, have still never hit a downtown in my life. The one we have in the shop still is that we hit is a Travis Hunter that my son Red pulled. The other ones in the shop we bought. She opened one box of regular Donruss, and hit a Cam Ward downtown.
Yep.
She sheepishly, not sheepishly, she's confident, but she just double checked. And she's like, is this it? And I pulled it out of her hand. Because I'm a micromanager, I said it is. And I took it out, and she handled it so well that we went to PSA. It's a PSA 10. I think I've told you that.
Yeah,
we haven't got it back yet, PSA. I'm staring right at the camera. Directly into your soul. Because you sent it to the wrong address, even though I wrote you an email saying it, and then you wrote back and said that I already told you it was the wrong address, so why did you send it to the wrong address? Anywho, but I stayed on it. Anyway, we stayed on it. They'll be here in 4 to 6 weeks because it takes 4 to 6 weeks to reship it to the right address.
Yeah.
Anyway,
obviously
this is the wrong topic. So now that I'll skip to the future. Her understanding and their understanding of Pokemon has gone from like liking it, opening packs, liking cute cards and that kind of stuff,
Yep.
to where they are. This is not to get a high five or whatever. They are far better at running this business, Pokemon, than I am. And you're incredibly, incredibly gifted at it. Like, so I guess I'll ask you questions. If somebody's listening to this and they're intimidated by Pokemon, because you hear it all the time, people are intimidated by it so much. And I'm putting you on the spot. If you could ramble, and I'll be quiet for a couple minutes, what are 2 or 3 things, or 100 things, that come to mind that if you could tell day one Stephanie about Pokemon, what would you go tell her?
I would say, don't be scared of the price on the cards.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It really is. It doesn't have to be viewed as an investment, and that's awesome if people don't. It's actually better in my opinion.
Right.
But it can be a bit of an investment, and it's stuff you like, right? So like at first I saw certain prices and I was like, oh my gosh, no, I would never spend that much money.
$50 on
I'm
a Pokemon
wrong.
card.
$50 is not a lot. And it is a lot, obviously, depending on your circumstance. But if you can, you should. It's fun. It's for you. It's something that you can keep and you can do what you want with, right? Because these $50 in my hand are probably going to go to something, I'm sorry, but a lot
worse.
Like worse.
That's what I say too.
Yeah. And so to me, I'm like, oh heck yeah, there's this card that I really like. I like the art in this, and you know, let's say for me it would be Charizard, Charmander, Charmeleon. Those are my like obviously like my top 3, right? Yeah. So yeah, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And I would say don't be scared of the price on them. That would be my first. And you can always work your way up to cards. That's what trading is for. That's that's what, you know, the community is for. So that's one thing. Another thing I would say would be just I'm still listening. Put yourself you put yourself out there in the sense of like, don't be scared of the people in the community, right? Because we are a lot more understanding than people think. Like
they don't sponsor us, but if anybody's going to sponsor Two Piece Card Shop at any point, it would be Two Piece Tea. I want to hear you say it more again. I'm going to rant for a second because I want to echo that. The reason I opened this card shop, other than because I believe in the finances of it, and I've said this to everybody, whether they believe it or not, it's true. Is I care about mental health. I care about people's happiness. And I think something we're lacking so much in this world is community and any level of physical interaction. And it's so wonderful to see people go from coming in the shop, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm the same way when I come to a place new. And this is how we are as humans. We come in, we stand tight, we put our head down, we dodge people like this. We don't look at them. We don't talk to them. That's what we do now as humans in this world. And it's so wonderful for you to watch people come in the shop. And sometimes it's in the first 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 trips. You know, but to see these people who don't feel like they have a sense of maybe community around them, to them within either minutes or hours or days, now it's like they come in here and they have personality now.
They come in like, hey Stephanie, what's up?
Exactly. I love that stuff. And that's the thing, like I love being around people. I love when people are happy, right? So like if I in here can at all even remotely make someone's day better, then I'm gonna do that. If it's by helping, if it's by explaining something, if it's literally anything, I'm gonna do it. That's kind of how I go about everything in life, you know? So it's like with my friendships, that's why our friendship to me was so important. You helped me out when, you know, obviously, you know, it was training and all that stuff, but it was like mentally helpful to me. So like I try to do that as well. Like anytime I get the chance, if someone's in here and I've made friends in here that now I'm like hey, you know, like
I mean, this is not to I'll brag for you. The first, I know 2 people that came in the shop yesterday on Saturday. Were both people that you just talked to. You know what I mean? Like people talk about, people have asked about why I don't have like, you know, advertising or pay money for I've never done a TV ad, a radio ad, a billboard. We didn't have a sign for 8 months. You know what I mean? Our Facebook got hacked. We lost that too. We basically have no advertising here at Two Piece Card Shop. Our only thing was our Facebook, and somebody stole that from us. You know what I mean? And it hasn't mattered because of people like you and people telling people's friends, and that's because that matters way more. And that's something I'm so appreciative about you. I'm going to rattle a bunch of questions at you. Those are rapid fire. Who's your favorite Dallas Cowboy?
Currently?
Currently.
Well, currently, I know it's gonna get a little bit of hate, but Dak Prescott, yeah.
Yeah. Jose, tell your Dak. Tell your Dax. It was something about Dak yesterday.
Dude,
I agree.
Dak has, for the last 10 years, as long as he's been in the league, been a top 5, maybe 6 quarterback.
I agree.
I'd say 5, but you could argue 6. That's fine. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But most people just disagree because he got a star in his helmet.
Word for word.
Yep.
Word for
Yeah.
word.
That's just the life of a cowboy.
It's that, and it's because you're right. I can leave it there. It's that, and he was a 4th round draft pick. And people are not going to admit they're wrong, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all the people that took 10 other quarterbacks out of Dak in that draft, or the fans that didn't believe in him, or the collectors that didn't believe in him, it's what we talked about the other day. Dak actually, I say that, Dak was drafted before that time frame, so I guess technically I get away with not putting Dak in that group of players.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking yesterday about NFL players worth more in value than and how small that list is. I bet Dak's one. I'm sure he is. He was because that. If you're trying to invest in sports cards, first of all, it's tricky to do it modern rookies, as I proved to my friends. But if you're desperate to do it, every one of them shares these qualities. They're a quarterback. They were not the first quarterback taken in the draft. And oftentimes they were the 3rd or lower quarterback taken in the draft. Oftentimes they didn't start as a rookie. I'm talking about, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Herbert. Herbert did because Tyler Taylor got his lung punctured. You know that story?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But Brock Purdy didn't. I mean, so as you go through, if you're going to hit on a sports card investment in the NFL for a young player, it's tricky. But it's going to be a starting quarterback who didn't start in the first year, who was not the first quarterback taken in his draft, and who people did not like as a prospect, because that's what sets their value low. Dak was a 4th round pick out of Mississippi State. He's not huge. He doesn't have like a massive arm. He's a great, but he doesn't have. He didn't have the stuff that made it people. But all he's done. Now we're talking about Dak for an hour. All he's done is produce year after year after year after year after year. And he's absolutely a stud. Yeah.
You'd see me like most years like in the comment sections of like Dallas Cowboys defending him against Dallas Cowboys fans.
Right.
I'm like, how is it that within
What do you gotta hate your own? Yeah.
Man.
There's very and football's a team game too. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't know. I bet you know the numbers, but Dak has put up amazing numbers year after year after year. To the point of the record, it's like, hey, I'm just making up numbers. If he throws for 4,800 yards and 40 touchdowns, and they average 30 points a game, and they win 2 games, it is not his fault.
That's
he
exactly
he plays offense. You know what I mean?
Average roughly 30 points a game.
Yes. Yeah.
How do we lose majority of the games? How do we not make the playoffs
They should
scoring 30, 35 points a game?
They could score more. Correct. They could. That's what they could have scored more. He could have. Sure, they could average 35 a game. They could have been the best offense in the history of the NFL, I guess, right? I mean, because you can always do that. It's the same thing like my Herbert argument. So I'll bring him up, of course, too. Herbert's gonna be fine, but Herbert is something like, I'll get the stat wrong, so nobody quote me. But Herbert has something like led Patrick Mahomes when he left the field his last drive. I think either every time they've played the Chiefs or like all but like one time. So every time Herbert has the ball against the Chiefs, he puts them in the lead and leaves the game. You know what I mean? And then the other team drives down the field and scores, and he doesn't get the ball again. Is it his fault for losing that game? Justin Herbert has more game-winning drives than anybody other than Patrick Mahomes since he came in the league. No one talks about that. And if you also got to count how many times he put his team in the lead on his last drive, I bet he flies by Mahomes in that thing. But hey, they haven't won Super Bowl. So, but I'll take Dak or Justin. Are the Chargers your second favorite team?
The Chargers, I would say right now, just because I know so much more of them. And to be honest, I'm very single-minded. So I focus in. So it was Dallas Cowboys, and now it's Dallas Cowboys and Chargers because I see it so much. I see the media, and now it's on my feed. Yeah. So it's anything that's in my feed, and definitely. I would
don't
say.
feel like you got to stay back there.
No.
You feel free to come around. There's no problem with you being over there.
Yeah.
What kind of cards are these?
Those are Iditarod cards, like dog races.
Really? People are into that, huh?
No. They've been there forever.
I've never heard of it. I was like, oh man.
They're not into the Iditarod cards. Sorry, I like to tell the truth. Because I don't like the word customer. I'd say guest. I like guest. I used to manage Target. We call them guests at Target, but I feel like I'm ripping off Target. I like to call them people. Friends is good, but then people are like, they're being corny. It's not really right. I don't know. I don't know. We need some sort of term. Anywho, I will tell the truth. If somebody says, are these cards hot? Nope.
I appreciate that.
They have not been hot.
Honestly.
Okay.
I really do.
Favorite Pokemon?
Favorite Pokemon? Charizard. Yeah. Charizard.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
That's a great answer. Would you rather have orange juice or cranberry juice?
Orange juice.
Tell me a band that's not Sleep Token that you think is underrated.
Underrated?
Uh-huh.
ATEEZ.
What's that? Tell me about ATEEZ.
ATEEZ, it's K-pop. I'm like really into it, but everybody I know is into like the even more mainstream than they are. So yeah, it's just a K-pop group.
Tell me, not your 3 favorite animes.
Okay.
What you would, if somebody watched it and said, name the 3 most famous animes, what would you say?
I would say One Piece,
Uh-huh.
Naruto, and Dragon Ball.
What's your favorite anime?
It would be Demon Slayer.